The following program is brought to you by Kevin Shorey Ministries and our family of friends.
Well, it's going to be a great program today. Genesis 1:21 says, God created the whales and the large animals and every living thing that moves in the sea. The sea is filled with these living things, and with each one produces more of its own kind. He also made the fowl in the air, the bird that flies, and each bird produced more of its own kind. And God saw that this was good. God made all these wonderful living creatures, including you and me. And I have a little frog in my throat, so he created the frog even, but not the frog in my throat. But since I have a frog in my throat, I thought it'd be great to do old Barry McGuire song. He said, bullfrogs and butterflies, they both been born again. That's right. Bullfrogs and butterflies, they both been born again. Roll it.
It's the Kevin Shorey Show. Taped before a live studio audience at the Branson Mill in Branson, Missouri. Today, Kevin's special guest, Jeff Martinique. Special music by the Johnson Strings. And now, even if we have a whale of a problem, there'll be no foul-ups. Here's your host, Kevin Shorey.
We are here today in the Branson Mill, where we tape the Kevin Shorey Show, and we're talking to one of our vendors here today in the Branson Mill. But I've been wanting to do this a long time. I met Jeff one of the first days I was ever here, but I've wanted to do it a long time. I mean, if music and a sermon can be anointed, I think there's sculptures that can be anointed, and I feel that every time I come by here, every time I look at his stuff. Would you welcome Jeff Martinique? And your business, and I think it's a ministry as well, it's called Grasp. And the reason is of all the different hand sculptures, and we'll talk about that first, but I want to figure out, how long have you been here in the Branson Mill?
I've been here for about 4 years now.
4 years. And where are you from originally? You an Ozarkian?
No, I'm Kansas City.
Kansas City. All right. Well, so what brought you to Branson?
Well, I started out down here with another ministry that's west of here that needed a prayer tower designed for them, and so I ended up down here doing that. And it's strange how the Lord works. That all happened from a lady that I met in Tel Aviv. So,
wow, from the Holy Land to Branson. That's amazing. That's awesome. Yes, sir. Well, glad that you're here. And when did you start doing the sculpturing like this?
I started doing hands probably 15 years ago, just due to the fact that I never did anything for my art ability. That's something the good Lord gave me for free. So I drew like Michelangelo when I was 7 years old. I thought everybody did.
No, not so much. I can't do anything like that. I even messed up my Play-Doh as a kid. It was terrible. But what with the idea for the hands, was there one certain one that came to your mind first that you created?
No, it was more of an issue of all of my associates complaining about the fact that hands were the hardest thing to do. And I thought about it one day and realized that everything else on the human anatomy had been done 1,000 times over, and I didn't have anything new to say on that subject. So I thought I'll just work with what everybody complains about, human hands and human emotions. And so that's always my difficulty, is trying to put the life into the hands so that they are not just the hands of mannequins. And so I've come to the point where the hands are really pretty easy for me. It's the emotions that wear me out. So
Well, you definitely feel it in all those. What's one of the most you'd say one of the most emotional ones you have? I think one of the ones, I think it's Paul. That's describe that one for us.
Well, that was something where it was just Paul has been a mystery to all of us. Forever, and very unique human being, and so that was a bit of a challenge to try and put the character of Paul in a pair of hands. In that particular one, I didn't have a pair of hands to work from, so I just used my own, or the concept of male hands. But of course, the most difficult thing for me with Paul was I always used fabric to try and enhance a sculpture, and in that particular one, I realized that Paul, originally being a Jew, I'd do a little research and see what a Jewish prayer cloth looked like. I wish I'd never done that. Yeah. Because sculpting those tangled tassels is almost as hard to do as it is to say. It's But the most prominent one is the promise piece. And that's the one where people came to me for years suggesting the fact that you sculpt hands, do Jesus hands. And I just never did want to do it because it always seemed somehow a little morbid to me. Yeah. But then when it dawned on me one day to mix it with my butterflies, that's what started the whole series of bronze and butterfly sculptures.
Is that where you decided to do the first butterfly on Jesus' hands? Or?
Yes, that is correct. And what I like about that is the fact that over the years, my sculptures have always gone to private collections, but in that particular piece, I've had 5 of them go out now where people have purchased them and then given them to their churches. And I've got a Methodist and a Lutheran and a Presbyterian and a Baptist and a Catholic, all Christian faiths, but I just like the way the piece jumps fences.
All the different flavors of Christianity.
Well, I just kind of figured good Lord didn't have much to do with those fences anyway. I think probably we the people did that. So
preaching my message, yeah, for sure. How does it come together? Like, do you make it's a clay from
that's modeling clay. It's oil based. This clay right here is probably 5, maybe 6 years old. I just keep reusing it. It never hardens, never dries. You can't fire it. This one's all messed up because of the fact when I get a sculpture where I want it, why then I'll make a high temp mold of it. And the mold components are much more rigid than the clay, so when I go to take it apart, that starts tearing up the clay right there. This piece that's all torn up here is the one that's up there in the white, where all original details are still in the mold.
I love the little hands. I mean, I just love the little kids, especially this one you call the Guardian.
Yes.
That is precious. What was the inspiration for that one?
Well, that's just that again is Christ's hand, and it's something where I don't know. It just seemed like for little people, maybe for all of us, that's the Guardian. So
How long does it take to make one piece? Or
no, I never know. I never know. Sometimes they go quickly, and sometimes it's just something that has to be worked over and over and over. Work till midnight and think you've got it, and the next morning that's not it. So
well, it comes from your heart. That's what you can tell from this. And like I was saying, if a sculpture can be anointed, I think it is. You just feel the Spirit of God in all that you're doing here and all the work. And what's cool is amazing that from your heart it goes into clay, into these wonderful sculptures, that people can come here and not only see you doing this, but they can get a piece for themselves, right? Is that correct? Anybody can.
Yes, sir. That is correct. Yes.
Do you ever take any could you make this? Would you do it for somebody if they said, I'd like the hands of, Jesus holding Kevin Shorey or something? I don't know.
Yes, I can, but I've only done 3 of those just because it's so expensive. To produce a bronze mold is a very expensive process, and that's why on all of my designs I do 99 of them before I destroy the mold. When somebody wants just one, I've got one of them over here where the family wanted their family, just them. And I do that, but it's something that to produce one costs as much as to produce 99 as far as the mold is concerned. So it's something that...
You have such a great variety and great art that, they wouldn't want. I mean, there's not many that you wouldn't want of these pieces. I mean, of all of them. I just love it. And the butterfly, I'm still mystified how you get the butterfly to do the flapping things. I see no wires or cords or anything, so I don't get that. But
they are electronic. They are plug-in, and I tried many years ago to work with some batteries, and it just does not work. My butterflies only open and close 6 times a minute, but I never turn them off, and so that turns into a little over 3 million times a year. And their electric consumption is next to nothing. It's the same as a 60-watt light bulb burning for 1 hour. That's the entire year. So
I see. Well, you're seeing all this wonderful art, and it's beautiful things. What do you have? Anything in mind? Something new that you're creating for next year, or?
I'm working on one now that it's a very extensive piece representing confinement that we as people happen to do to each other over the centuries, and this is one in reference to the Holocaust, and it's a whole lot of hands that are contained by a fence. So, yeah.
Wow. I love it. I can't wait to see that. That's amazing. Yeah, when you get it done. And have you always wore the big Lincoln top hat?
Well, that was something that my daughters put on me, my twins put on me some years ago, and I don't know, it's just hung around. So
I know you're here. I see the hat when it goes across the, yeah. Thank you so much, Jeff. And I love it. Grasp is the name. And if they go to a website, can they see some of your stuff you have on website?
Facebook or graspstudio.net, either one. And
of course, we'd love you to come to Branson and come to the Branson Mill and see the Grasp booth for yourself. So many great things. Miss Juanita's in the audience over there, and she has all her wonderful creations. And there's just so much, from the pottery to the leather goods to so much. And one of these days soon, we're going to go over to the barbecue sauce guy, because he's new here, and he has a great testimony about his barbecue sauce, homemade stuff that's here. But this is a great mill, and you make it. You just take it up a great creative notch. Thank you, Jeff, so much. And you've been a blessing to our ministry as well. And so I'm thankful for that. Thank you so much. And we got a beautiful song the Johnson Strings are going to play for you right now. I'll be right back to talk to you right after that. What a beautiful song. Thank you so much. And, in this time of chaos and confusion and Christmas shopping and all, you need to hear words like this, Isaiah 26:3, and I'll get on my soapbox in a bit and talk more about it, but I'm going to end with Isaiah 26:3. He will keep us in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on him. And if we keep our mind concentrated, our thoughts, our affections, our worship on him, he will keep us in perfect peace. We've had a tough year. You've seen, other than lose my voice today a little bit, you've seen the things that we've gone through. It's right there in front of God and everybody on the air, financially and, with our family loss and so many different things. But you know what? The thing that keeps us focused is our mind stayed on him, concentrating on him, meditating upon him, and he does keep us in perfect peace. As far as financially, I want to thank God, but I want to thank you, family of friends. Some of family friends, I love when you send cards. Got Christmas cards here. Here's our family of friend, Anita. And she says that she's praying for us, especially with the loss of my father-in-law. And then Phyllis, who sent a little scripture. Phyllis is a family of friend. They're $34 a month. And this month we're sending out our Christmas gift to you. We have a library of books and CDs from all the different guests that have been on our program on this set or on the singing spot, and we're going to send you a Christmas gift from that. We're going to pick somebody that I know you're going to love, and it will bless you, and we're going to send that. Plus, we had this made just for you. Look at that light. Isn't that bright? I can read the Bible a lot better right, with this little light. It has a chain on it, so you can put it on your clasp on your purse, or you can put it on a keychain. And I don't know about you, but they say, if you push your little clicker button to unlock your car, your light comes on. But I can never find the little clicker or which button to push. Many times I push the panic button and all the cars go vrr, vrr, vrr. So this will help you. Just pull this out, and then you shines the light on your little key fob is what they're called, and you put it on your little fob. What a weird name. I don't know. And then you can see and get in your car, and this will help you. If you have the old-fashioned keys that you do your car with, same thing, just lights up. This will light up your life, and it'll remind you to pray for us. It has my name and our address on there, so you remember to help us as a family of friend, monthly partner, $34 a month. We have some of our family of friends here who give more than $34 a month, and I love you. Thank you all so much. Our friends from Iowa, the state of Iowa. Amen. So I know something's always happening in Iowa because they're cool people there. They love the Lord, and we're looking for the Lord's return. There are many different ways you can give, and we'll be in the Christmas time. We're just 2 weeks away from Christmas. We'll be opening up presents. Wouldn't it be great if they could open up something that could help them? One of my favorite things, of course, is the silver. My throat is so sore. When I woke up, it was like daggers, like knives in my, I don't want to be so graphic, but it did. It was like daggers in my throat. But I took some silver. The only reason I can even talk at all, I know this is true, because I had no voice. I got this bass voice, which kind of cool. I always wanted to be a bass. I was a tenor for my whole life. Today I'm a bass. Look out, Armin Morales. Look out, Big John Hall. But anyway, because of the silver, I can talk, because it does. And when you get the silver, they're $50 a bottle for the liquid silver. They're $30 a tube for the sacred structured silver gel. And that's great to put on cuts, burns. I do that all the time. It brings such healing. Silver's all natural. This hasn't been tampered with, only so that it can make it into the liquid in the gel, so that it can be used by you for your body. But it has so many different healing properties that are natural from God. That's why I love it. And this is a great gift. I mean, when your family opens it up and says, really, this is what you get, it's better than socks or a tie. It really is. Or some gadget that they can play with and then they're tired of an hour later. This brings healing. This should be in all of your cabinets all the time for the different situations, like myself with my voice. And I promise you by tomorrow, my voice will be 90% better than it is now, if not totally healed, and a lot quicker. My sore throat or whatever is all but gone because I have been just downing this silver. And when you get the 3 for, this is $50 or 3 for $125, or $30 for the gel, or 3 for $75, which is a great bargain for the silver. You get this book with it. The newest book by Dr. Gordon Penderson and Dr. Brian Frank. These guys have helped us to be one of the exclusive ministries that has just the new and improved. This is what he's going to say in a second. Dr. Gordon Penderson is going to be here in just a second to talk to you. New and improved structured silver. It is structured to be alkaline, not acidic like the others. It's structured so that it doesn't turn your skin blue like the colloidal silvers. But this most precious metal, this silver, it not only tells you about that, but it shows you the different things. Look at that. Maybe you're suffering from diaper rash. No, I don't think you'd have diaper rash. That was the first thing I opened up to, diaper rash. Helps. But you know babies that do need to have diaper rash. Your digestive system, sore throats, there it is. It has been known to reverse the effects of malaria and even leprosy in other countries. And it's all documented in this book here. And this is one of God's most precious metals. I want the expert to tell you about it, why silver is more valuable than gold, platinum, or money itself. And you can get it exclusively with us. And here's the man to tell you about it. Here's Dr. Gordon Pedersen. We'll be right back after this.
Hello, my name is Dr. Gordon Pedersen. My mission is to help lift people physically, spiritually, and mentally. I believe the body will heal itself if you give it the proper tools.
Dr. Pedersen is board certified in anti-aging and regenerative medicine. He has 4 medical doctorate degrees in areas of clinical, research, naturopathic, and wound care. He has worked under Jonas Salk, the American medical researcher noted for the discovery of the polio vaccine. Dr. Pedersen is the medical director of the Silver Health Institute.
I want you to recognize the history of silver. It's part of our mission statement to recognize that 1,000 years ago, silver was nothing more than a coin thrown into a barrel to inhibit bacterial growth. 100 years ago, the new ionic forms and colloids were starting to show up, and they got a lot of really good benefits medically speaking. Then in the last 10 years, there has been new aquasul technology, and even patents have been developed throughout this time period. But now, at the Silver Health Institute, we're identifying new and improved forms of silver. Not just aquasuls, not just colloids or ionics, but actual structured silver with benefits like alkalinity so that your body can use it every single day. As you can see, I'm proud to help research and deliver the new and improved message of the new and improved silver. In fact, these silvers are being studied at the pharmaceutical levels. A pharmaceutical company called Nelson Labs has tested them and found that the new and improved structural alkaline silver outperforms all the rest. This is significant because it's a silver designed for your body to be used every single day.
And we're back. Thank you, Dr. Gordon Pedersen. I'm going to go take some more silver and just get this completely knocked out. But I told you, I wanted to get on my soapbox and tell you about Isaiah 26:3. It says, He will keep us in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on Him. Remember that when you hear that things are shaking, when things are quaking, when things are moving and shaking. Hebrews promise us all that will shake is going to shake. All that's going to move is going to move. God is setting things in order. Sometimes when you put things in order, some things have to be troubled and stirred. And so I want you to stir. When talking about stirring, stir up the gift within you and concentrate on Him. He says, even through trials and tribulations, they're going to come, but be of good cheer, for I've overcome the world, and I will be there for you through the trials and tribulations. So you can know today, God, I want to rest on you. I want to trust in you. So I put all my hopes and trust in you. I reach for you. We saw all those hands. Reach to Him. He's reaching for you, and He will keep you. Isaiah 26:3, He will keep you in perfect peace if you keep your mind stayed on Him. So God, we trust you today. Thank you for your peace, and we are of good cheer and joy. The answer of Christmas is joy. Joy for the whole world. Jesus is the answer for our world today. We thank you, Jesus. If you don't know Him, please find Him. Trust in Him. He's reaching out for you. Reach to Him today, and you'll find out why we say every day, Jesus is the answer for our world today. We'll be back in tomorrow to remind you again.
The preceding program was brought to you by Kevin Shorey Ministries and our family of friends.